Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another action-packed episode of the Necromaniacs Horror Podcast. How's it going, Mike?
It is going well. As the listeners will know, we've wrapped up our shark extravaganza, and now we are moving into, I guess, more standard fare. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to say it's the Shark Summer Slam that we
Mm,
just wrapped up. And I got to be
yes.
honest, dude, the last couple of days, even though we're in the past the midpoint of August,
Mhm.
it seems like autumn is around the corner, no?
It does, and watching the movie we're discussing this episode also kind of reminded me of that because the movie has a little bit of definitely some Halloweenish vibes and some
Yeah.
fall vibes. But I mean, hey, we have another 4 weeks left of the season, so we could get another heat wave. Who the hell
Yeah.
knows? But
Yeah.
yeah, I do get what you mean, though. It has been a little bit like of those feelings, that
Yeah.
fall is coming soon. And then I just saw something on my Instagram that said we're going to get very cold weather starting in October. But again, I'll believe that when it happens too.
It can go either way in the next 4 weeks,
Mm.
but I tell you who's already in the fall season is my wife. She's already busted out the pumpkin spice creamer.
Mm.
She's already getting her Halloween decorations together,
Hmm.
dusting off her broomstick, that kind of thing. So
Yeah, it's never too soon, I guess. For some people, every day is Halloween. Yes.
but I am looking forward to it myself. It's my favorite time of year. And
Yeah.
this year the Halloween season will bring us a brand new Tombs record, so I'm excited about that too.
Ah, yes, that is true. Yeah, I'm excited for that for you guys. Will you guys be doing any other gigs but before the year is out locally?
Yeah, we're not going to be doing any touring until next year, just
Hmm.
because of I got a lot of like moving parts in my personal life going on right now, but
Hmm.
regards to moving and all this other stuff. But yeah, we're going to do a show, local show out in Jersey. We're putting a bill together. It's going to be at Dingbats. We haven't announced it yet, which is like the home of heavy metal in New Jersey, if you ask me. So.
And it is so funny that you just said that. This was not planned. I was going to talk about my trip to Dingbats this past weekend.
Oh, nice, man. What was going on this past weekend? I was upstate this past weekend, so I missed out.
Me, Thorns, and my friend Fran went to go see Trickster play at
Yeah,
Dingbats.
dude. Yo, they aside from being like the home of extreme metal in New
Uh,
Jersey, it is
mhm.
also the home of hair metal.
Yes, it is.
They have a lot of those shows. A lot of those bands go through there.
Oh yeah, they totally do. I mean, it seems like a lot of them they don't play Brooklyn or Manhattan, but they'll play there, right? So, you got to take the trip if you want to, if you're from Brooklyn and you want to see some of these bands. They'll play there or and they'll play Connecticut, but they won't play New York City proper. Um, because I just think the fan base is just a little different. Would you agree?
Oh, I would totally agree. But with that said, I think Dingbats currently is like the most metal venue in the tri-state area, to be honest.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're not booking hipster music. You know what I'm
No,
saying? They're not
absolutely
booking
not.
like, uh, yeah, they are. I mean, they have their goth nights, they have their, punk shows, they have their metal shows, their hardcore shows, and they have their hair metal shows. I mean, that's if I had a club, that's what I would do.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
I
definitely.
would run the full gamut, and that's what they're doing. But I hadn't been there in a couple years. I couldn't remember the last time I was there. But I had been there before. It was pretty damn packed, actually.
Yeah,
What do you call it? This one band that played an opening band was a bunch of 14 and 15-year olds
nice.
who drew a bunch of young kids. It was this dude, Kobe Reese. He looks like if Vince Neil and Jenny Lane had like a much younger brother, kind of.
Yeah.
That's literally what this kid looked like. I think he's 14 years old. I only caught the last few songs of his band, and they're actually pretty good for a bunch of, kids. And then Ferret played, Jersey, hair metal band, pretty good. They always put on a good show. And then was Trickster. Now I haven't seen Trickster in, I don't know, 19 presidents, a very long time, basically. I did see them many years ago back in the day. Um, but it's down to just like two original guys, the guitarist and the bassist, and they do the vocals. So the actual OG vocalist is not in the band anymore, which, I did not know that. Um, but the crowd certainly didn't mind. But yeah, had a good time.
No, that's killer, man.
That was my Friday night. Yeah.
Did you go to the Dingo's Den across the street?
We did because my buddy Fran had never been to neither Dingbats nor Dingoes, so we wanted to show him that, and that was hopping. I mean, it was a lot of people in there.
Dude,
Um, yeah, man,
Dingbats is a
can't beat
good
it.
time, man. I mean, you can make fun of the people that go there sometimes, but it's like it's a good time, man. I enjoy. We played there recently. We played there a few times over the years. We played there recently. Pro Fanatica. I saw Mortis played there on like a Monday night when he was over
Hmm,
here on tour.
yeah,
Deicide played there. I mean, it's like imagine Deicide in that spot.
yeah, that's wild. You know, there's Christian is playing there in like late November, early
Yeah, yeah,
December.
yeah.
So I
With
want to I want to go to that. Yeah.
Abysmal Dawn's on that. I'm going to be going. We toured in Abysmal Dawn a few years ago, man, and like I definitely want to catch up with those guys.
Yeah, I think Pyrexia is also on that
Yep.
tour. That's like a US run that is not doing New York City, but it's doing Connecticut and it's doing Jersey. So I definitely will be at one or the other of those shows. And I'm sure there's probably something else I want to see there before the year is out. But yeah, we just gave a very nice commercial for Dingbats, huh, Mateo?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a spot, man. You got to keep it alive, man. It's like I said in this climate of venues coming and
Mhm.
going and heavy metal sort of taking a back seat to like hipster dance nights in various
Right.
places. Dingbats is one of the only places in the tri-state area where you go to the show and you're there for the show. There's no disco dancing afterwards. They don't shut you down at
Right. They're
11.
not kicking you
They're
out.
not kicking you
Exactly
out.
right.
Shows go late,
Yeah.
I mean, the headliner goes on late. It's like old school.
No, I definitely agree. And for those curious, it is Clifton, New Jersey,
Yeah.
Dingbats.
Clifton, New
Yes.
Jersey.
But yeah, that was cool. And then yeah, Jane and I watched our feature film that we're going to get into tonight. Uh, we watched that the other day, and yeah, cool. We went to the 18th Avenue Feast.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Nice.
it was okay. I don't know. It was jam packed, like uncomfortably crowded. You know. Um, And I don't know. It's not the 18th Avenue Feast of yesterday, which was, a long time ago, but I'm glad it happens nonetheless
Yeah.
every year.
Did you check anything out interesting as far as movies or anything like that go?
Um, Jane and I are alternating between watching Mad Men and now alternating Miami Vice.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I realized that I had restarted Miami Vice myself about a year or so ago. But I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it over again. I don't mind. I love watching these old episodes. So we're on like episode 3. And I mean, what can I say? It's such a good show. I'm a fucking Miami Vice stan. And we're enjoying Mad Men as well. And then of course, tonight's film, we checking that out. Um, and yeah, just a lot of music stuff. I got recently these nice digipacks of Sabbath's Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules to go along
Nice.
with my digipacks of the entire Ozzy run. These are, yeah, they're double discs put out by Rhino, and they're really cool. Come with a lot of like bonus stuff and like cool liner notes and shit. And then the mailman also brought me Asheron's Rites of the Black Mass double
Nice.
disc reissue, which now comes with their 91 demo, which is actually really good. Um, it's pretty much the same songs on the Rights of the Black Mass record, but like these raw, different kind of vocals, and it's different. It's kind of like when you listen to the DSI demos
Right.
versus the first DSI album. I mean, it's quite a different listen, really, even though it's a lot of the same songs. Similar to that, you know. Uh, and what else? This band, I feel like I don't know if I mentioned them or not. Mortual, Altar of Brutality, really fucking good.
I don't know that.
Yeah, really good death metal on Nuclear Winter Records. South American band, fucking just really cool early 90s style shit. And another good death metal band, Abhorration, uh, album called Demonolatry. Again, really, really good death metal. And these guys are from Norway, of all places. You don't really think of death metal in Norway. At least
Uh,
I certainly don't. But yeah, this is very solid death metal from Norway, Abhorration. Uh, like I put it on, I instantly liked it, and I ordered the CD of that. So yeah,
right on, man.
music wrap up.
There's a band called Final Dose that I've been getting into from the
Mm,
UK. Our mutual friend Mike Score posted something about this band, and it's exactly the kind of shit that I dig. It all right. I suspect that these guys are probably more. They probably came up more through the punk rock scene, maybe,
mhm.
and I'm making a guess. All right, but their music, they have a lot of evil imagery. They've got, the titles, the name of their record that came out this year, which is probably going to be on my top 10, is
Mm.
Under the Eternal Shadow. So that's it's a pretty evil sounding name.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah,
at it right now. It's only like $5 for their record on Bandcamp.
yeah, get it, get it.
Yeah. I'm gonna check their shit out. They got two other releases too.
Yeah,
Blood Price. Yeah, it's only $4. And what else they got? Void Inside from
yeah,
2023.
both of the full lengths are sick. I haven't checked out the other stuff just yet,
Mhm.
but I feel like they probably were more coming up more through like the Discharge
Mhm.
vibe, but morphed into like a blackened punk band. But
Mm.
it's exactly the kind of shit that I like, man. It's like Bathory, Celtic Frost, Venom. You know, it's got that drum beat that I like in it. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
that.
yeah.
And it's fucking, you want to smash things when you listen to this shit.
Oh,
It's so
awesome.
fucking
Yeah, I'm
good, dude.
definitely checking these dudes out for sure.
Yeah.
I'm leaving this page up on my computer. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike Score from All Out War posted something, and usually when he posts stuff, it's on point. So like I checked it out, and sure enough, it was fucking awesome, and I love it, man. I can't stop listening to it.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's the music tip for me. Movie wise and show wise, I watched, of course, Alien Earth, which is fantastic. You check that out,
No, I have not watched it yet. I'm
dude?
terrible. I need to watch it like
Your brother
immediately.
gave it props, man.
I know he really liked it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I love it. Please check it out. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there have already seen it. We're up to episode 3 this week. That's great. There's an old show on Apple called Invasion that I checked out, which is like an alien invasion film, alien invasion series. It's very good, and I know that being that it's on Apple Plus kind of makes it obscure in some ways because not everyone has that, and it's the stuff that's on Apple Plus is only on Apple Plus, so it's kind of difficult to watch some of those shows.
Yes. I have some good news for you. Final Dose are playing Ridgewood, playing
Oh,
TVI
oh, hell yeah, when?
October 13th.
Oh shit.
Yeah, check that out.
I gotta go in there, definitely.
Tickets only at the door, no advance
Ah, I
tickets.
fucking love it, dude. That's some punk as fuck shit, man.
Yeah, I like that too. That
Yeah.
is good.
And I saw two movies which you're going to be kind of surprised that I know I'm late to the game, but Final Destination 4 and 5 I watched over the last weekend.
I heard they're both great. I'm very behind in my Final Destinations.
I have seen all of them right now. That was something that Tina has coerced me into watching it, and
Mm,
I enjoyed them. They're fun, similar to this evening's film. They're
mm.
not to be taken too seriously, but they're the Bloodlines one, which I watched that a couple weeks ago, features the final performance of Tony Todd, which was like,
Ah,
kind of touching.
oh yeah, I'm sure. I saw the first few in the theater. I forget how many in the O's there were, or late 90s into the O's. I definitely saw, I feel like three of them in the theater. So there's got to be more than like, five or six Final Destination movies at this point. No?
I I think there's only six. I think
Okay.
six. And I've seen all six of them that I know of. So and that's only in the last month or so.
Mm.
Yeah. And that's it for me, man. That's all I've been, checking that out. I've been working. I've been fucking, doing my thing.
Okay, yeah, there are six, and I have seen the first three. So yeah, all right, makes
Yeah.
sense. Trying to do the double check, keep you honest thing, because I do this while I sit in front of a computer. So
Yeah.
yeah, the first one saw in the theater in 2000, second one 2003, the third I believe I saw in '06, and that was all she wrote for me. So I may do what you did and just watch all of them. Yeah,
Well, they're all on, I think it's on Max right now. So you can bang them all out, even Bloodlines.
nice,
Yeah, so you can rip through them all and just, make a night out of it.
very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
So let's shout out the lads.
Yes.
So if you're listening to the show, you know that we are part of an elite group of content creators at war, trying to decimate mediocrity in this very mediocre world that we live in.
Hmm.
So kicking off everything every other Monday, we've got Brandon Legion's Horror Wolf 666.
And on Tuesday, kids, we have Jackie Smith's own Into the Necrosphere, bringing you the very best in extreme metal each and every Tuesday. Make sure you are subscribed. What about Wednesday?
Wednesday is a double shot day. We got Everything Went Black, which is the show that I've been doing for the last, I don't know, 30 or 40 years, it seems like.
40 years, sounds about right.
We also have Iblis Manifestation brought to you by the Great Cheyenne. And like I said, that dude's been all over the place, man. I'm excited for him. He's going from strength to strength, man. I feel he's really coming into his own, and I see great things in the future of that man.
And unless I'm mistaken, I see that they got a tour with Absu
That
uh, coming
fucking
up. Yeah,
rules. So,
yeah.
so, so sick. I'm so
So
happy for
good,
them.
good for them, man. Hells yeah. Over in Europe, so hells yes. Uh, we're up to Thursday, aren't we?
Yeah, Thursday, Necro
Why,
Thursday.
it's the Necromaniacs podcast coming to you each and every Thursday. You're hopefully listening to it right now because you get excited every Thursday and you're already subscribed, right, Mike?
That's right. That's right. And you got to be looking for new subscribers, new blood, fresh faces.
Yes. So tell a friend about the show. The suits over at the network are concerned about the ratings. So they had a meeting with Mike and I, and they said, you guys got to pull in some new blood. So we want you to help us out with new blood so we can get the suits off our back, right,
That's
Mike?
right. That's right, man.
Yeah, get them off our back.
Those TPS reports.
Ah, terrible, terrible. But yeah, go for it. What else we got? Don't we got something else on Thursday?
Yeah, well, Thursday is also the first day of Soul Knocks, brought to you by the sinister minister, Carl Hikara. And that's if you're into like darkness, evil, the esoteric, the macabre, this show's for you. And on
Excellent.
Friday, your brother comes at us.
Yes, Mr. John Draper, Spitball Media with his co-hosts B Show Brian and Mr. Shaheen. Very cool entertainment media, you know, current some current events podcast. Check it out. if you're into what's going on in the streamers, what's going on, you know, in genre films, it is a show for you. Spitball Media every Friday.
Saturday, of course, is a day off, and we only got a few more weeks of summer left, so get those last beach visits in,
Mm,
and enjoy yourself. Have a couple barbecues because the summer is winding down.
mm.
So go out and enjoy yourself. But fall is coming, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, as well as myself, really love the fall. But Sunday, the Sinister Minister returns for day two of Soul Knocks, and Carl and I are moving into the home stretch of Darkness Weaves, our exploration of the work of Carl Edward Wagner, a relatively obscure horror, weird fiction, and sword and sorcery writer. And we're working on the last of the three Kane novels right now, also called Darkness Weaves. But we've uncovered a cachet of hard to find Kane short stories, which we're going to be delving into. So we still have probably another 6, 7, 8 months of material left on this.
Nice. While I have not gotten any more cool books from that author at the Magic Post Office, I have picked up a bunch of other kind of random ones that had just these really cool covers and stuff. Like I found this book called The Lantern of God by John Dalmas,
Okay.
and then another one called The Nightmare of God by Mark Rogers, and The Once and Future King by T.H. White,
Oh yeah.
The Book of Merlin by T.H. White. What else? Just they all have really either sorry about that. Either cool covers or cool titles. Our Lady of Darkness, uh The Horn Crown, Andre Norton, another Andre Norton book, The Sorceress of the Witch World. And all of these are from the 70s and 80s. So, you know, going to get around to cracking open a bunch of them and seeing if any of them are any good.
Well, I read the Once and Future King, and that's really good.
Hmm.
I've read other stuff by Andre Norton, and he's really good. So I reckon those two are probably awesome. And I'm
Okay,
sure,
awesome.
and dude, since they came out in the 70s, they probably have those like sick, like 70s style like covers too, right?
Yes, all these covers are beautiful. That's what's catching the eye. And then if it's not just a nice cover, like I turn them over and just read what they're about. And a lot of them just sound like they're about really cool stuff, like the plot is good.
Hmm.
So, why not? For
Yeah.
free. Bring them home.
So if you guys want to call us, we don't have any calls this week. So if you want, we're really you guys got to give us a call because no one's called in a couple weeks. So
Yeah, we're dancing around it. Yeah, you
yeah,
gotta give us a call.
yeah. So if you want to hit us on the Necro phone, it's 908-913-0782. And like I said, we don't have anybody this week. So
Mm.
someone give us a shout.
Sons of bitches. Um,
Gets lonely out here, man.
yeah, really. Christmas Eve. Um, but yeah, thank you anyway, of course, if you support any of the horsemen, right?
That's right.
Mm, you're appreciated.
So that brings us to this week's feature film, Clown in a Cornfield, which had a theatrical run, but you can catch it on Shudder right now.
Yes. I remember hearing about this, and before we got rolling, I'd said that I think Jeff from Lucky 13 was been one of the first people to mention it to me. He saw a screening of it. Um, yeah, it's on Shutter now. It came out in like the springtime, May, in America at least. Initially, it was at South by Southwest in March of this year. Um, Budget of 1 million, and it made about 10 million in its brief theatrical run, which is pretty damn good. Wouldn't you say?
Definitely, definitely it is. And so this is directed by Eli Craig, who brought us Tucker and Dale versus Evil. But that came out what, 2010, right? You were saying we were saying earlier?
Yeah, that's a while ago.
Yeah.
That's it's like I feel like he obviously has done some other things, which I'm going to check out right now. He did a movie called Little Evil in 2017.
Okay.
And he did direct the Zombieland the series pilot in 2013.
All right. So yeah, so there's a little bit of a vibe with Eli Craig. I've only seen Tucker and Dale, and that was like an early back in the day Netflix viewing for me. So yeah.
Yeah, and this Little Evil is like a supernatural horror comedy film from 2017 that was like a straight to Netflix deal with Adam Scott and Evangeline Lilly, and they have like this little kid who's, a new stepchild who's like, I don't know, evil. And yeah, it's called Little Evil. So
There
that's
you
what he
go.
did. I wonder if you could probably still watch that on Netflix if you like. Go right ahead. And it turns out, what a shock! The stepson is the Antichrist. So maybe it is interesting.
Yeah,
So I guess it's a comedic take on The Omen, I guess.
I could see that. Yeah, it sounds like that's pretty much what it's about. Craig also co-wrote it, co-wrote the screenplay with Carter Blanchard, and it's based on a novel, a young adult novel by Adam Cesare
Mhm.
called Clown in a Cornfield.
Yeah, from 2020. The novel did very well. It has spawned two sequels. So that's pretty damn good, man. I mean, yeah, I know that the horror world is flooded with books. I would imagine the young adult horror world might be equally flooded. For your intellectual property to spawn a movie and put out some sequels, that's nice, you know?
Yeah, I mean, not having read the book, uh, and having only seen this film,
Mhm.
I can see that there's a world being built that could maybe house some further stories, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Even with the ending the way it is, say the book ending is exactly the same as the film ending, sure, agree with you on that one.
Yeah, maybe with like some different characters or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Or the further adventures of, the the daughter Quinn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's run through the cast real quick. So, pretty much the star of this is Katie Douglas as Quinn.
Mhm,
We've got Aaron Abrams as her dad, Dr. Glenn Maybrook.
mhm.
Carson McCormick as Cole. Vincent Muller as Rust. The great Kevin Durand as Arthur Hill, who you might remember him from The Strain. I mean, maybe,
Yes.
or maybe not, since that show got canceled because no one watched it. So,
Well, actually, he well, he has like the, white hair in this, and I don't know if he normally has white hair. He kind of was like unrecognizable in a weird way in this
yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Legion. I don't know if you ever see that, Legion.
No. And he was at X-Men
Yep.
Origins,
X-Men Origins.
Wolverine,
Yeah.
Resident Evil, Attribution.
Yep. He's been around.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff. Uh, Caesar and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes,
That's right.
which I
Yep.
did not know that either.
Yeah.
So he's been in a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of his roles are like a little more action oriented than this though. But then again, he's getting older, so he's calming down a little bit, I guess.
Hmm.
We got Will Sasso as Sheriff Dunn and a bunch of other people.
Oh, cool side note, he is in the new Naked Gun with Pam Anderson and Liam Neeson. So he has a role in that too, according to his Wikipedia.
I think I might want to check that out. Maybe when it goes to
Yeah, I want to see
streaming.
that too. Yeah, it's not a Necro movie, but
No.
it's a movie we would watch. Yes.
So one of the things that I dig about this movie is the sort of Gen X angle on this whole thing, the Gen
Yeah.
X versus Gen Z sort of conflicts, if you will. So the movie opens in 1991 in the
Mhm.
town of Kettle Springs, Missouri. With the trope of teenagers
Mhm.
partying.
Yes, listening to some of that grunge music,
Some,
Michael.
some
Yes.
grunge music. Yeah.
Looking a little grungy. Well, actually, it's funny. Jane and I noticed the girl at the beginning, one of the victims, is wearing a Motley Crue Dr. Feelgood era shirt, which is 89. So it's definitely feasible that a young girl in Missouri would be wearing a Motley Crue shirt in 91. Would you agree?
Yeah, except I don't know, like that, I guess so, but it would be like to me, Motley Crue is an 80s sort of thing. But I'm splitting
True.
hairs. I'm splitting hairs. I
Yeah,
know I
you're
am.
splitting hairs because they had a good 91 Motley Crue. They actually had a best of that came out that year, and they actually had a song on that best of called Primal Scream, which was a new song, which the video was on MTV a lot in 91. So things start to implode in 92, not necessarily in 91. Everything kind of happens. Like the records kind of come out, but I think the real implosion and the real like nuke of hair metal is in 92. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not. I was out of it by then for sure. It was like,
Oh no, I mean
yeah,
I was listening to Deicide in
yeah,
1992,
exactly.
but
Yeah,
I had a brother who was very into that music and I knew all about that music, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Um, but I'm just talking about how I just think it's definitely feasible for a Midwestern girl to have a crew shirt in 91 for sure. If it was 93, I would have been absolutely not. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But yeah, splitting hairs.
yeah. So a lot of one of the kind of linchpins of this whole story is the Bay Pen corn syrup factory. Okay, it's like the site of this party down scene. And two of the kids, as kids are wont to do, sneak off into the cornfield to have some alone time. You know what I mean?
Yes, be teenagers. Yes.
Yeah. And they're slain by Friendo the clown.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or so we think.
Or so we think.
It
Yeah.
looks like it's Friendo the Clown. Um, what's your take on like the initial kind of gore murder scene here? Like, to me, it was good. I mean, it's standard kind of slasher fare initially, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing you haven't seen before, you know.
Right. Mhm.
Um, even down to there being a clown, you know. There's
That is true too.
there's better clowns out there, as far
Mm.
as murderous clowns go.
Mhm. The interesting thing though is that these are not makeup clowns; they're mask clowns.
Yeah.
There's no one's wearing makeup. Everyone is masked. So that actually I think makes it a tad less scary for some reason for me.
My thing with masks is this, not into the clown mask. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I think it's like kind of just not my cup of tea. The masks I like is if you're doing some kind of ritual or something and you're becoming some other kind of like, folk horror kind of thing. That's I'm down with those masks. But the clown masks, or sometimes we refer to like the new metal horror, where there's like people with clown masks on and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Jump
Like
metal horror. Yeah,
jump
jump
metal
metal.
horror. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that's like that kind of stuff leaves me cold.
Agree. I also think that those clear masks creep me out more.
Oh yeah, for
Like the
sure.
eyebrow, and it's like that's about it, and like the
Yeah.
lip and the eyebrow, and everything's clear, and it's like you don't know who the fuck really that is under there. That's creepy.
Yeah, those are good. No, a good clear mask is pretty creepy. Yeah.
Mm. So yeah, you brought up a great point at the beginning and largely throughout this movie. There is this modern day teenager, a Gen Z teenager, kind of versus the Gen X folk. Uh, Something I did take away while watching the movie, and I brought it up to Jane, is that the words Gen X and the term Gen Z is not spoken once throughout this whole movie. Did you realize that?
Yes, I did, but it's pretty clear
Mm.
that what's going on here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, unless actually, I might actually correct myself. I think at one point at the very beginning, there's a scene of the main character with her dad in the car because they're moving into town from Philadelphia, and I think she says something about your Gen X rap or something like that. I think that's the one time it's mentioned. She says something about his rap music era.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
let's kind of segue into that.
Mhm.
So Quinn and her dad are relocating, like you mentioned, from Philly to this Kettle Springs town in Missouri. And
Yeah.
her dad is a doctor, and he's taking on a new job as the town doctor. And there's like their mother died, so there's that kind of conflict going on, and
Mhm.
sort of traumatic experiences happening. On the ride out, her dad's listening to some old school 80s hip hop music.
Yeah.
And
Eric B. and Rakim.
yep,
Yeah.
Eric being Rahim, and he's singing along, and the daughter is like makes a comment about how this music is like, like listening to, like, I forgot what reference she used, but something like listening to Elvis or something like that. Like,
Oh no, she makes a very good reference. One I've even brought up about 80s hardcore that her listening to her dad's 80s music is the same as him listening to music from the 40s when he was a
yeah,
teenager.
yeah.
Yes, yes. Which is
So
scary.
it's
Yeah.
scary, but also like, you know, I feel like popular culture is kind of peaked with Gen X though in some ways. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because look, while she is right, okay, we're still making 80s stuff. We're
Yep.
still making 80s set movies. We're still making, you know, 80s-ish clothing and 90s-ish clothing. And it is the peak. Absolutely. Like, despite how long ago it was,
Yeah.
people can't wait for the next Stranger Things season. You know what I'm saying? It
And
still matters.
And
Yeah.
furthermore, artists like musicians and bands and people from that era are still killing it. Like they're still out there playing shows and like doing tours and having, comeback tours and everything. And they're still packing houses. So, you know,
Yeah.
that's whatever. Like I always like to reference Eli Roth with his comment about genre films when he was talking to some, artsy fartsy person with their indie film, and he's like, you know what? No one's gonna remember your movie, but everyone's gonna, 30 years from now, people are still gonna be watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah. Like, let's be honest. Remember when like in the mid O's, like, how hot like certain 80s bands were, and there were all these kind of like throwaway mid O's bands that nobody really talks about anymore.
Yeah,
Okay, like you just said, more people talk about Motley Crue and Ozzy than they do about any of those other, like, of some mid O band that had a hit song for 5 seconds. Like,
yeah, totally,
like
totally.
it's the truth. Like
Yeah,
people still talk about 80s heavy metal all the time, like every day, all day
yeah,
lately.
oh yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. I mean, and obviously, like in this extreme underground that we're into, there's been, well, tons of great bands that we still talk about that come out every year that I love,
Yeah.
I love new band. I love new bands, but like, I'm not going to dismiss anything that came out in the 80s or the early or the 90s because it's old. It still fucking rules.
No. Yeah. Kids still like Morbid Angel is still Morbid Angel. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
Deicide is still Deicide. There's a reason every day in my feed, some 23-year-old is bootlegging their merchandise. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the kings. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that kind of like commentaries going on in this film a bit.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, so Quinn is the new girl in town. We got a small town setting. She's a city girl. Um, she meets like the local uncomfortable guy, Rust. That
Mhm.
dude who's like this kind of like harmless guy, but a little awkward, and he wants to walk
Yes.
to school.
He's like the first red herring in the movie, too,
Yeah,
you could say. Right.
yeah, because like right away, I was thinking, well, this guy's going to end up being like some kind of like murderer, slayer of women or something like that. But that is not the case.
No, it is not the case. I mean, he's the first one, I would say. And then Cole would be another one, the one who is the, again, potential romantic interest for Quinn as the movie progresses a little bit. He's like the kind of big shot at the high school.
Yeah, and he's like the kind of bad boy, like outsider kind of guy, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And and then there's a bunch of these other kids that they have this little crew and they make these you know, clips, these video clips that feature the town mascot, Friendo, the clown.
Right. In the burnt out Bay Pen factory. Although the movie, like we said, starts out in 91, the Bay Pen corn syrup factory where a lot of the townspeople are employed is open at that point. By the time we get to, 2024, 2025, there was some kind of accident and it's burned down. And now that's where these high school kids, they're all seniors, which is established a little earlier, uh, make these, scary videos and they get a lot of views on social media. Yeah.
And that's kind of like what kids do these days is just take pictures of themselves and make videos and post it on social media as opposed to like, doing cool shit. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, that is true. I mean, I'm just trying to imagine. Could you imagine if that was around? Like, if that was around when we were like 17, how different things would be.
You mean
Because there's
social
like
media?
there's no record of so much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a different world.
I'm glad, actually, you know.
Hmm.
You know how much like fucking like just like shit that I did and I pulled off and got away with when I was a kid. Like I'm glad that
Yeah,
no one documented it.
true. My biggest regret is not having a camera. I wish I had some more. I have a good amount of photos for back in the day, but I feel like there's a little chunk of time where there's like no pictures at all. Like, and that kind of sucks.
Actually, you know what I noticed too is like like Lenny Friedman, that dude who like guys like him
Hmm.
who are documenting the underground,
Hmm.
with like really, really cool photography. That seems to be a lost thing too.
Yeah, most of the really good photographers I know are around my age and have been doing it for over 20 or 25 years, and they're kind of still doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm unaware of any young person of the last decade that is like this linchpin of still photography. There are these people who make videos though, that are younger. I just
Right.
can't think of their names right now. There's one dude in particular who's been doing it for a minute. Um, so there's video documentation, which one could argue is a little better than photo. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's, people I know who have been doing it forever and they still do it, which is
But
cool.
but there isn't like those like iconic photos, like there's that
Hmm.
like that photo of Minor Threat on the Discord house steps, or like
Right, right, right.
you
Yeah,
don't
you're
have
right.
those. You don't have stuff like that anymore. Like no one, everyone's taking pictures, but it's
Mhm.
all very, I mean, of course there's exceptions. I'm not going to discount everything, but you just don't see that iconic craft that you did back then. You don't see it today.
Or at least we're not seeing it.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I would
seeing it. I mean, I see a lot of like, chicks that are heavily filtered wearing next to nothing,
agree.
uh, with like interesting names, and things like that. And but I don't know. I just don't I don't feel like that's gonna happen again.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say la vie. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. It's just I'm getting all nostalgic. This film, I guess, brought that out of me a little bit.
Yeah, it has. And it definitely did while we were watching it. And again, I also got like those kind of just old school slasher movie vibes, The movie was kind of like a warm blanket at times with its familiarity. And actually, at times, it reminded me of Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, Mike.
Yeah, I could see that for sure, and that's definitely I was picking up on that too. And but I think Thanksgiving was outstanding. I'm looking forward to the next one this year.
Yes. Is Thanksgiving better than this? Yes, but they're similar. One of the things that goes on in the town is the Founders Day festival, which is like this parade that they throw, and what do you call it? It just I was like, oh, like I feel like I'm watching Thanksgiving. Like, I don't know why. It just because it also I think takes place sometime in the fall, although they're careful not to meld in Halloween in this movie for some reason.
But
Like
there,
there's no mention of Halloween. You
yeah,
notice
but
that?
just the fact that a lot of it takes place in a cornfield too is like the
Hmm.
harvest and like the autumn and that it's subtle, but you get this very autumn feeling to it. And that's why I was like, looking forward to the upcoming season of fall, and this
Yes.
definitely touches that, and yeah, it's very cool. One of the things that I thought was really, really kind of the creepiest part of the movie to me was in one of these videos, you see another friendo face that's not part of the gag.
Yeah, yeah, that was great actually.
Yeah.
On the playback, they kind of scare the new girl, the girl from Philly, Quinn, in one instance with their horror skills. And they send her the clip, whatever, and she's playing it back, and she's she's good sport about it, whatever. She's laughing, but then she kind of freeze frames on one part, and in the background, as Mike just mentioned, there's like another clown, and yeah, that was probably one of the best parts.
That's something that I dig. I like that element of it, where there's like, the like almost like a found footage kind of vibe to it, where it's like this like actual thing that's being filmed, but there's another unwelcome observer. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of that happened in A Violent Nature. You know what I mean? A movie that I generally didn't care for too much, but there was a moment where the murderer guy, was like lurking in the shadows, and you barely see him, and that's the kind of
Hmm.
thing that's really effective to me.
Nice. Well, one of the dudes responsible for that prank on Quinn is the guy Tucker, one of the classmates, and uh, that very evening, he is one of the first victims of this friendo who breaks into his home and kills him. Um, it's funny. There's he's a black character, and there's a funny moment when the female black character in the movie says something to the effect of, well, we all know I'm next, or something like that. Did you
Yeah.
catch that? That was funny.
Yeah, that's like, like a trope in old horror films where like the black
Yeah,
character always
yeah.
died and they don't make it to the end.
Yeah, see, I got the movie had some nice self-aware little kind of nods and stuff like that. Like I thought that
Yeah,
was
I
cool,
appreciated that too, definitely.
And then sure, and she was next. So yeah, that was that was pretty funny. Um so Tucker's killed in his own home. That very next day is that Founders Day festival, that scene that kind of reminded me of like the Thanksgiving parade in the movie Thanksgiving. Um, One of the other classmates accidentally causes one of the floats to catch on fire, setting a damper on the festivities. The sheriff of the town grabs, the kids and puts them all in jail. And that's the other thing. You kind of notice this disdain,
Yeah.
this Gen Z disdain throughout the film. Would you agree?
Definitely, and it's just like it's funny, it's yeah, that was definitely front and center in this movie.
He hauls them all kind of off to prison for kind of nothing with zero evidence, um, and there's one kid who actually doesn't get sent into prison. What's his name? Matt. He ends up getting decapitated in his own garage while he's working out. Another kind of familiar slasher movie scene. Would you agree with the guy's head getting cut off
Yeah,
with the
I
weight bench?
I thought that was one of the cooler murders in this is there's always a
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like say your friend or whoever is working out and you're spotting them, right?
Yeah.
Only you pull out a hacksaw and you hold it down onto where you're spotting them, And then at some point, the grip lets go, and then the hacksaw cuts their head off as it comes crashing down on their chest. So that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like straight out of the 80s. You know, there's always like a
Yes.
good weightlifting murder scene, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, some things to like about this movie, definitely. They get out of jail, and I mean, I don't know. Do we want to just go beat by beat here? I mean, what
Nah,
it's
you know, we don't. I mean,
you don't
you can go
necessarily
and
have
watch this
to.
movie. Yeah, it's definitely just it's the feel of it. I mean, it's still a relatively new movie, so we don't have to like get down to the nitty
Right.
gritty, but
No, it is. And I definitely think our listeners should see it. But they go to this party in a farmhouse. We'll bring this up. And it's basically kind of revealed that there is not just one friendo, there is a series of friendos. There are several of them. But I don't necessarily want to go, throughout the entire thing and all the victims and body count and this and that. It is a slasher movie. It's got clowns. Uh, but again, there is a very big kind of thing to say about like different generations, and I'm wondering if that was the director's like big. Is that like what he wanted to do? Is that like what he wanted this movie to be about? Or was it really just more like that was a little part of it and he just wanted to make a fun slasher movie? Like, was it about like generation gap and class? And then there's this weird thing you could think about the decline of US manufacturing. I mean, with the factory getting burnt down, and
oh
there's a
wow,
couple
see
of little things going on here, no?
the manufacturing thing, interesting. I didn't think about that. But definitely, let's see, how old is oh shit. Yeah, all right. So yeah, so Eli Craig is 53.
Yeah, he's a
So
Gen
he's
Xer.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
he's a Gen Xer. He's in our age group. So that dude probably feeling how should I put this? Um, just like how boring like kids are these days. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
With
Yeah.
what they're into. You know, like obsessed with their phones.
Hmm.
Um, and it's and the you know it's the adults who are going buck wild. You know?
Yes. The adults in this movie are the aggressors, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, there is also a surprise that's not really that big of a surprise about two characters, Micah, would you say, in this movie?
It's not too much of a surprise.
No, I wasn't surprised. It
No.
was hinted at earlier on, I felt like, during a conversation between Rust and Cole. Yes. Again, we'll leave that for the viewer to uh, see for yourself. But I actually thought that was kind of cool. I mean, it was done, at least it was done in a way that was different, I think, than the modern film.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, I think this movie has a lot of heart and like it has a lot of throwbacky ideas. Don't get me wrong. Like they're not really reinventing too much here, but I don't know if that's what he wanted to do. I feel like um I don't know if it's a beat by beat like book redux, It might be, which might make for a fun book to read. Like I said, there are two sequels to this movie in book form. I may check it out actually because I did like this movie. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Do you think they wanted to just make a fun movie or they had some kind of deep meaning here? I don't know. It could be just
I
a
think
mix of both.
I think it's like a fun movie that pokes fun at young people who are not living life to the fullest, maybe. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I mean, obviously there's exceptions to this, but when I think about kids in a certain age group, I just
Mhm.
think about them taking pictures of themselves. And that's a good that's a night, you know what I mean? Like I remember I went to Hibachi like a few weeks ago.
Hmm.
I've never been to a hibachi before, like where
Hmm.
the guy like cut up the fucking dude with the knives and he's like, "Gah, gah, gah," he cuts up,
Right, right,
So we went out to a hibachi place out here in Jersey and they sat us at this table with these like four, like 19-year-old girls,
oh boy.
right? And literally they didn't even fucking talk to themselves. They were just on their phones the whole time. The dude came out with his knives and was like, yeah, 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 was doing all of his shit. They weren't
Right.
even paying attention to the fucking guy,
Wow. Hmm.
and I was like, that's like such a drag to live life that way.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And I think that it's like not so much like disdain, but it's like, yo, like let's get into the real world, touch grass,
Hmm.
be inside your body a little bit more and pay
Yeah.
attention to people and not be such a fucking, mesomort. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And like go out there and live life. I think that's kind of like what this movie was aiming at.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, but I'll say this though, Quinn was definitely better than some of these other girls, and definitely I think wanted more, and definitely seemed more grounded because she had like the best dad. Like, let's talk about
Yeah.
Quinn's dad. I thought was a great character. Um,
Yeah.
he, he makes it. We'll say that.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of death in this movie. A lot of people don't make it out of this movie. Again, don't want to reveal all of it because it is new, and we do want you to see it. Um, does it leave space for a sequel? Maybe. I think so. Obviously, in the books there are. So
Yeah.
the movie is definitely a possibility. That would probably just involve the daughter and some of the other surviving high schoolers.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it does show kind of how shitty some modern day kids are. But at the same time, um, you know, Quinn, played by the Canadian actress Katie Douglas. There's a bunch of Canadians in this movie, but it is listed as an American movie. I thought she was great, actually.
Yeah,
I, I
and
thought,
Quinn is like the exception, just like in real life. Not everyone's lame. That's a kid. It's like there are kids out there, that are doing bands and doing cool shit and like,
mm,
living life. But like I said, by and large, I see a lot of just people on their phones, like at that age group, you know.
true, true. Yeah. Um, you know, it's funny. Like I have a score for this. I'm sure you do as well.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a pretty good one because again, I just kind of wanted to tune out of life for a bit. We put this
Hmm.
on and I didn't really know what to expect. I wasn't expecting, uh, like highbrow art horror or anything like that. And I kind of got what I wanted. I was kind of entertained. And I'm actually giving this a 4 out of 5.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yes, I'm giving
Cool.
it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought some of the kill scenes were really cool. Um, I don't know. There's zero pretension. There's no pretension in this movie. There's zero like, you know, it's not European, you know? It's
Yeah.
very it's there's that old Kiss song. She's so European, which is some people will say is a very bad song. I like that song. Um, But yeah, I actually I'm giving this a 4 out of 5. Jeff is probably screaming somewhere if he's actually has seen this movie, but we'll see what his reaction to my 4 out of 5 is for this.
I bet this has never even crossed Jeff's mind to watch this movie,
Oh, okay, okay.
But yeah, I guarantee Jeff wouldn't really dig this one. But yeah, it was not my cup of tea.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to say it was a bad movie. It just wasn't for me. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 because remember, three is like the minimum sort of like recommended film. So for me, I think it's worth checking out. you might have, I like Tucker and and Dale versus Evil. I
Mhm.
thought that was pretty fun. So if you're in that headspace of having fun, check it out. It wasn't bad. I'm just over clowns, I think. And,
Mm.
I just I'm all clowned out, you know what I mean? For now at least.
Yeah, and what's funny is that I don't necessarily go for the hokey or horror most of the time.
Yeah.
Um, but I found this one to have a nice kind of 80s spirit to it. Um, and it wasn't too sappy and it wasn't too crazy violent. It is pretty violent. Like I said, there is a lot of killings in this movie. A
Yeah.
lot of the people at the start do not make it to the end, like a lot. And we did not give away like the major plot point, so that's good too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
definitely go check it out. It's on Shutter. So it's pretty easy. I'm sure a lot of you guys, if not all of you, have Shutter. So yeah, definitely check it out. You know what I mean? It's definitely worth seeing.
yes, yes, yes. All right, kids. That was another fun-filled, action-packed episode of the Necromaniacs podcast. I have a funny feeling, kids, you're going to be getting a lot of episodes of 2025 horror in the coming months. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, there's finally some stuff to check out that's good. You know what I mean? Like this
Hmm.
Weapons movie looks, from what everyone's saying, is great. There's also Together, which I haven't seen either one of those yet, and that's
Mm,
something I'm definitely planning on seeing.
yeah.
There's Bring Her Back, which I saw a couple months ago or a month ago maybe, that I thought was outstanding, even though I didn't like their first film at all.
Mm,
So we need to cover those. At least we need to cover those three films.
yeah,
And
definitely.
and there's others. There's other newer things that are coming out. There's a new Thanksgiving movie coming out this year.
Oh, that is this year?
I believe so. I mean, I might be I
Oh,
might be
wow.
wrong, but I think it's this year, the new Thanksgiving.
Nice.
So
But
that
I had an idea. I had an idea for the Halloween season that I'll bring up off air because I don't want to spoil it. How about that?
okay. Yeah, 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 totally, man. Let's
Yeah,
hit me with that.
will do. All right. Thank you all for the support. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe, tell a friend, and we will see you next time.
Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you next week.
Bye bye.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Where are the clowns? Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. Where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns just when I'd start opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours, making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my lies, no one is there. Don't you love farce? My fault, I fear. my dear. But where are the clowns? Send in the clowns. Don't bother, they're here. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my timing this late in my career. But where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns.